Hey guys, in this video I'll be going over Real Moonlight Aphelos comp. This comp is considered one of the strongest comp for patch 10.20, and I hope this guide will help some of you guys climb the ladder. Before going deep into this comp, I want to talk about some general notes for this comp. This comp is very high risk, high reward comp that usually ends up being 1st or 8th. I say this because this comp is very vulnerable to being contested, as it's really hard to hit 4-star Aphelios when you're being contested by another player. Obviously, this comp's win con is 4-star Aphelios with perfect item, which I'll go over the perfect item in the next slide. And a lot of my viewers actually asked me like, what can we go Silas instead of Lissandra or Diana for Moonlight? And the reason is Silas is not recommended, as he is contested by Brawler Ash players, and it's also more expensive to hold or to hit 3-star, since he's a 2 cost compared to 1-star Diana and Lissandra. Next, I'll be going over items for this comp. As Aphelios is the main carrier of this comp, obviously you want to prioritize Aphelios items. I like to prioritize Guinsu first, into GA, and then QSS. These 3 are mandatory 3 core items that you need on Aphelios in the current patch. You want Guinsu first, as Guinsu is the only offensive item Aphelios needs, and as the earlier you get it, the more HP you save, and the faster you stabilize. Next, you want GA versus Shade and Assassins, and also because Aphelios' turret interaction with GA, as it continues to auto attack while in GA form. Aphelios also wants QSS versus CC like Sejuani and Aatrox. Next, I like to prioritize Yuumi item, which is just blue buff. Yuumi has 40 mana pool. With blue buff, she autos twice, and you want Yuumi to cast as soon as possible to spread spirit buff and attack speed on Aphelios to get the Guinsu stacking up faster. For Diana or Lissandra, I like to put Zizirot, whichever you 3-star first, because this comp lacks a lot of frontline, and Zizirot's a really good frontline item that takes aggro from your carry. Ahri items are usually a luxury because since you're mostly prioritizing Aphelios items first, you usually don't have the components to build Ahri items, but if you happen to high roll the components, GA Ahri is best in slot, as GA Ahri always guarantees the ult cast, which is a lot of attack speed for your Aphelios. And after the GA, any AP items after that is fine, Jewel Gauntlet being one of the best ones. Next, I'll be talking about positioning. This is the right side version. I really like positioning on the right side for this comp because I feel like this cubby here is a lot safer than the left side. The most important thing to think about positioning is the Yuumi positioning with Aphelios. Since Aphelios has Guinsu, it's really important to stack the Guinsu as soon as possible. And since Yuumi gives attack speed, you want to guarantee the second part of Yuumi cast attack speed buff onto the Aphelios, which she uses on the farthest ally, which is why Yuumi and Aphelios are the farthest distance away from each other, to guarantee the second attack speed buff on Aphelios. I like frontlining my Ahri if she has GA, because she always guarantees the cast to spread the spirit buff attack speed onto your entire team. And one important thing to consider when positioning your Yuumi, Diana, and Aphelios is that Diana and Yuumi should be positioned in a line, either here or like here. If you put Diana on the opposite side of Yuumi, sometimes what happens is that the Diana is actually farther away from Yuumi than Aphelios, so Yuumi tags onto the Diana instead of the Aphelios. So as long as she's in a straight line as with Yuumi, the distance from Diana to Yuumi when she flies should be always shorter than the distance from Yuumi to Aphelios. I position my Shen and Lissandra here to protect my Aphelios versus Kayn and Assassins. Next, this is positioning for the right side with Chosen. If you get Chosen Diana or Chosen Lissandra, for Diana version, you put Diana in a line with Yuumi, like I mentioned before. Same positioning as before. This is if you don't have Ahri with GA, you always position Ahri here and Shen here, obviously, versus Kayn and Assassins. If you have Lissandra, you could put Yuumi here and Lissandra here, and the Yuumi should always go on Aphelios. The most important part about positioning is Yuumi guaranteeing the cast on Aphelios. Next, this is position for a left side. Left side is a little more tricky than compared to right side, but it still works, and it's still worth it to swap sides if there's a lot of Assassins or Shade on the same side as your Aphelios. Obviously, you want to mirror everything. Important part about this side is that the cubby, it's harder to protect Aphelios compared to the right side. The reason why is because there's you need 3 tiles to protect Aphelios in this corner, whereas you only need 2 here. I don't like putting any unit here because sometimes if you put a range unit here, the Yumi jumps on the range unit here, as from this tile to this tile is actually farther away from this tile to this tile. So that's the reason why I position like this. And you don't want to isolate your Aphelios, as if enemy is using a Kayn, it'll keep spinning on the Aphelios, so you want to keep it protected and keep several units beside Aphelios. Next, I'll be talking about early game for this comp. Before going into early game, my first carousel pick opener is bow for sure, as Guinsu is the most core item for this comp, and you want to secure Guinsu as soon as possible on your second carousel. If you get a natural bow, it's fine, as it will become a Z0 to secure your front line. If I can't start with a bow, I'll start with BF sword. For this comp, the most important part about early game is you want to be lose streaking stage 2 and all of stage 2 and majority of stage 3. For the entirety of stage 2, you only pick up Moonlight units such as Diana, Lysandra, and Aphelios, and you shouldn't be afraid to not pick up any other units and open fort, as in play like 2 out of 3 units or play less units to make the next econ threshold, like 10 gold, 20 gold, 30 gold. It's also, after you get up to 50 econ, it's really important to slow roll as in like roll excess 50 for Dyna 3, Lysandra 3 at level 5 for 3 stars. There's no point of rolling at 7 for Dyna 3, Lysandra 3 or like 6, because it doesn't matter if your Aphelios is 3-star. If you don't have Dyna 3, Lysandra 3, it means that your Aphelios is going to be 3-star anyway, and you need your Aphelios 4-star. There are like small situations where rolling at 6 might be correct, but those situations are very rare. But in case that happens to you guys, it's like if you're at like 6 Diana or like 7 Diana, 7 Lysandra, but like 1 Aphelios, you might as well roll at 6 to synchronize the time of hitting Diana 3, Lysandra 3, and Aphelios 3 closer. Like you don't want like 9 Diana, 9 Lysandra, and like 1 Aphelios. I start accumulating spirit units such as Teemo, Kindred, Yumi, and Ari after I get about 50 gold, which is most likely going to be stage 3. Lastly, I'll be talking about mid and late game for this comp. By this stage of the game, I already assume you're above 50 gold, slow rolling for Aphelios 4-star at either level 6 or 7, depending on the state of the game. A lot of my viewers are confused of like, do you roll for Aphelios 4-star at level 6 or 7? But unless you're really high rolling and you stabilize really early with high HP, it's usually not worth it to roll at 7, because you just want the higher chance, or you just want the extra 36 gold of rolling Aphelios 4-star instead of shoving the 36 gold onto the level. After you hit Aphelios 4-star, you start shoving level to reach 4 Spirit plus Mystic as soon as possible, because having 4 Spirit plus Aphelios 4-star is almost invincible mid-game to endgame actually, until super endgame. So you should be able to fully win streak as soon as you hit 4 Spirit plus 4-star Aphelios. Super endgame, level 8 and 9, you should always be playing 2 upgraded legendary units such as Azir, Set, Kayn, Zillion 2 for Mystic. There's a situation where Azir, Set, or Kayn is better. I really like playing Azir and Set, as there's a lot of Kayn and Brawler Ashe players in the current meta, and Azir and Set is really good versus those units. Azir is really good to peel melee units and assassins and shade, like versus Kayn and Riven. Set is also really good versus Brawler Ashe, as Set deals a percentage of their maximum HP, and Brawlers have a lot of base HP. So Set just deals, Set's consistently cast as he has the boss straight, and he does a lot of damage with no items as well. So I'm gonna give an example of an endgame board. This is like an example of endgame board of Aphelios comp. Same positioning as Yumi and Aphelios. And Diana, and the picture doesn't show the placement of sand soldiers, but you want to put it like here and here, or like here and here, depending on the lobby. Or if they have a lot of frontline damage, you could just put soldier here and here. I mean, if you don't have backline access, you could just play soldier frontline, and that'll be fine. And with this board, assuming you have fully upgraded, perfect item, everything, assuming you hit, it should almost be like guaranteed first, or not guaranteed first, I guess, unless like they're Omega high rolling. The enemy is, it's like guaranteed top 2 most of the time. Probably like super end game, best in slot, everything fully capped. This is the end of my guide for this video. I hope this video is helpful for some of you guys, and hopefully using this guide, you guys can climb the ladder. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll be back with another guide in the future.